If you're a roofer and you've been considering running Google Ads, then you're probably wondering how much Google Ads actually costs to run. Is it $50 a day, $100, $500? In this video, I'm going to break down exactly that. What roofers are really spending on Google Ads, the actual costs to get a roof replacement job, and is Google Ads worth the money? And at the end of the video, I'm going to go through the biggest mistakes roofers make when it comes to Google Ads. My name's Adrian Harrison from Grow Savvy Marketing, and I help roofers and other small businesses get paying customers using Google Ads. Let's start with what factors affect the cost when it comes to running Google Ads for roofers. If you've had a look into Google Ads, then you'll know there isn't actually a flat fee. It's charged per click, and in Australia, the cost per click, or CPC, is anywhere from $3.50 to $35 or more. In the US, you're looking at $15 to $100 plus. Now, there's a few factors that actually affect the actual costs. First one is the location. If you're in a bigger city, then Google Ads is likely going to cost you more versus a regional town. And a lot of that comes down to the competition factor. If there is higher competition, then other roofers are going to be bidding more for those Google Ads, and that's going to drive up those costs. Next factor is keywords, general keywords versus high value. For example, something like roofer near me is going to cost less than commercial roof replacement. Commercial roof replacement, the job value is going to be much higher than roofer near me. Roofer near me could be residential jobs, it could be commercial jobs, it could be for a leaking roof, so it could be anything. Whereas the other type of commercial roof replacement, that's going to be a more lucrative job, so people are often going to pay more for those sort of clicks. And that also comes down to the quality of the keyword as well, and does it convert? Roofers are going to pay more, or other roofing companies are going to pay more for high quality keywords that actually turn into paying jobs. Next thing is the performance of your landing pages and your ads in general, or your Google campaign in general. The more optimized you can make your campaign and your landing page, the lower the cost is going to be. Now let's look at the budget. How the budget works with Google Ads is that you add in a daily amount for your budget. So let's take the example of $100 a day. Google Ads calculates a month as 30 days, so 100 times 30 means you're going to be budgeting $3,000 per month. Now, the daily budget does fluctuate and the spend differs in your account. So for example, some days you're going to spend $70 a day, other days you might spend $130 a day. But by the end of the month, that's going to all equal out and it won't exceed your $3,000 per month budget. We touched on how Google Ads charges, which is cost per click, or CPC, earlier. I wanted to show you a real example of that. So if we do a search here, we're going to see a bunch of ads come up. And anything that says sponsored is an ad. So we've got an ad here, sometimes there'll be some further down the page. Now, you're not charged for these ads to show up. You're charged when someone actually clicks on them. I'm not going to click on that because that's going to cost that person money. So just know what you're paying for is when someone clicks on your actual ad and goes to your website. I gave a few examples earlier how much it costs roofers for clicks in Australia and the US, but how do you actually find out that information before you start running a Google Ads campaign? Well, you can use a tool called the Google Keyword Planner, and I'm going to show you how that works now. If you log into your Google Ads account and then go to Tools, Planning, Keyword Planner. Once you're in Keyword Planner, to use it, add some of your keywords in. So let's just try roofer, and your city. So we'll put those keywords in, and then we'll change the location. And you want to change this to the suburb or the towns that use service. Now let's brought up a bunch of different keywords. So what we're looking at here is the keyword in this column over here. This is the average monthly searches. The one you want to be interested in is the top of page bid, the low range and the high range. So this is actually what you're going to be paying. It's usually somewhere in this range. So if we look at Roofer Sydney, anywhere from $8.66 to $28.76, and it's going to be in that range. So if you go through here, there's a heap of different keywords. Not all of them are going to be relevant and or good keywords to add for your business. You want to be picking out keywords that are high intent. Like if you do metal roofing, it might be metal roofing near me. That's a high intent keyword, and you can see that you're going to pay anywhere from $6.52 to $23.13. So that's how we find the actual cost per click for your keywords if you're running a roofing campaign. Now you know how to work out the cost per click of Google Ads, but is Google Ads worth it for roofers? When it comes to that question, what really matters is the actual cost of a booked job, a paying customer. That's really what it comes down to. First example is Roofer Near Me. Now in Australia, Roofer Near Me, the clicks are about $20 each. It doesn't matter that I'm talking about Australia. Just take the methodology that I'm using here so you can work out your own costs in your country. Now, on average, we're going to say it takes 25 clicks to get a client. Now, that's going to fluctuate depending on how well your landing page is set up, how optimized your Google Ads campaign is, and also your internal sales process and how good you are at turning phone calls into paying customers. So if we take 25 clicks at $20 each, that's a total ad spend of $500 to get that client. So 25 times 20 is 500. And so for that, Roofer Near Me, that could be a lot of different jobs. It could be a leaking roof. It could be a full roof replacement for a residential property. It could be commercial property. So you might be looking at getting a job from anywhere from 5K or a couple of K to 25K plus for a residential, or maybe even more than 50K or 70K for a commercial job. And all that for just an ad spend of $500. Now, for me, I'd pay that any day of the week to get jobs like that. Now, if we have a look at another example, commercial roof replacement, these are going to take longer to convert, but they're going to be much more lucrative, and they're probably going to cost more to convert to because they're going to be more competitive. So if we take 40 clicks to get a customer at $35 each, the clicks are more expensive, then you're still looking at $1,400 investment to land a job that brings in 35, 75K or more. So again, that's an excellent return on investment as far as I'm concerned. So you be the judge yourself. Is Google Ads worth it for your roofing business? How much should roofers spend on Google Ads now that you know how much it costs per click and roughly how much it costs to get a client? Let's look at the spend that you need to commit to Google Ads to make it work. Now, this is going to vary. Again, it's going to be based on your keywords, your location, like I said, but a general rule of thumb is to take the average cost per click and multiply it by 10, and that's going to be the minimum monthly or daily budget that you need to run Google Ads successfully. So for example, if we've got the keyword Roofer Near Me at $15 per click, commercial roof replacement at $20 a click, the average cost per click is $17.50 if we average those two out. So times that by 10, and that's $175 a day, and that will give you your daily budget. Now, the big mistake that people make is wanting to just test Google Ads using $5 or $10 a day. And that's really not going to work for an industry such as roofing, given that clicks are $15 each or more, $20, $30. If you're spending $10 a day, you're barely going to get one click per day, and that's just not enough volume to really test Google Ads and make it work for your business. My recommendation is that you need to spend about $175 a day for a roofer. If you want to try Google Ads out, some roofers are going to be spending $500 plus per day once they've dialed in their Google Ads and it's working successfully for them. And you need to give your campaign enough time to optimize. Usually that's about 90 days or more. And the final thing we're going to look at is the 3 biggest mistakes that roofing companies make when it comes to running Google Ads. And you may have seen some talk on the internet about Google Ads not working. And usually that's because of some of the mistakes people make when they set up their Google campaign. So the first mistake, and one of the most common ones, is choosing the wrong keywords. And that's going to give you traffic that doesn't convert. So if you choose a keyword just like roofer, that could mean a lot of different things. It could mean roofer jobs. It could mean roofer tools. And having that keyword is just not going to lead to traffic that really converts well versus a keyword like roof replacement Sydney. Now, the search intent is really strong for that sort of keyword. They're obviously looking to have their roof replaced. They've given you their location. So you know that they're actually looking to hire a roofer to fix their roof or replace their roof. The second biggest mistake when it comes to Google Ads is just general campaign setup errors, and that's going to lead to a lot of wasted budget and leave you wondering if Google Ads is actually worth it or if it's going to be working for you. So one of those mistakes is sending traffic to the home page. You want to be sending it to a targeted landing page. A home page is not designed to convert well, to turn those lookers into actual inquiries for your business. So you need a landing page. Second mistake is your geographic targeting. You want to make sure that you target only the areas you service. Some roofing companies set Google Ads up, and they end up targeting the entire country or state. And really, if you don't service those areas, you're going to be getting clicks from all over the place, and they're not customers that you're going to be able to help. And third mistake is not having a strong sales process. If your sales process is weak and you're not able to turn calls or emails into jobs, then Google Ads just isn't going to work for you. And some of the biggest errors when it comes to this is being slow to respond to inquiries. When you get an inquiry, you really want to be responding within a few minutes. That's the ideal. I do understand that sometimes it can take longer, but the quicker you can get back to those people, the the more you're going to be able to land that job or turn that person into a paying customer. Next mistake is not having any follow-up. You need to be following up people. If they don't answer, you need to keep trying until they do answer. And even after you've spoken to them, you still need to be following them up. And if you can do these sort of issues, if you can fix these issues, then Google Ads will work for your roofing business and can consistently bring you high-paying new roofing jobs. If you want to know exactly how to set up Google Ads for your roofing company or your service-based company, you can download my 150-page Google Ads guide for service business owners, where I detail exactly how to set up Google Ads profitably for your business. And if you want expert help with this, you can book a call with me. We can fix broken campaigns and get them converting and profitable, or we can set up new campaigns to generate you paying customers. So thank you very much for watching, and please do remember to subscribe to the channel for more Google Ads hints and tips, and to like this video. Cheers.